Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of OK Dad Podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and today I kind of just wanted to talk about time. So, time, it really does come and go, and it almost feels like it just slips through our fingers sometimes. But today we had an instance, and I really kind of enjoyed being part of this, but I really wanted to just highlight it. So, as all you dads out there know, even mamas, that the birth of your child is something that's so incredible. It's really great to be there and be a part of it. And oftentimes we're not always able to live in that moment. It's so joyful. It's just another level, another experience. And no matter what happens, how many times it happens, like being there for the birth for your kid, that's just like a really enjoyable, monumental moment for you. So today at work, I'm a market trainer and we have a new advocate that's starting. We have two new advocates. And the first advocate just said, he came in, he sounded a little flustered, and when I said hello to him, he tells me, he's like, okay, sorry if I sound a little bit flustered today. He's like, I just had a baby. And I was like, oh, really? Like, the reason I was trying to be here like right around 20 minutes earlier just to get ahead of you guys was because my 3-year-old. So my 3-year-old got me late to work today, or right on time, I guess. But as soon as he said that, it goes back in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, like what happened with your kid? And he tells me, oh, well, I just had my son. And I was like, oh, okay, like how long ago? And he's like, just a few hours ago. And I was like, a few hours ago? He goes, yeah, Brian, my wife had the baby at 11 o'clock last night. At 11 o'clock last night, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So like less than 12 hours, this guy was at our work who had just had a baby. Like the dedication to show up at 9 o'clock in the morning when you just had a brand new baby is like incredible. I imagine just being there when my son was born, and I was like, yeah, this is it. Like this week, I'm not gonna leave my wife's side. I'm not gonna leave Asher's side. I'm gonna be right next to him. I'm ready to change all the diapers. I'm ready to feed him as much as I can, hold him, tie him up in that little tamale blanket that you do for little babies, and that's going through my head. And this guy just came to work when he just had a baby. He's like, I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep, but I'm here. Like let's get through it. And so I'm like, wow. But an even greater thing that happened was when we let the leadership team know. They're like, whoa, what? Like less than 12 hours ago? What are you doing here? And he's like, well, I have to work today. Today's my day one. No, go home. Go be with your baby. We'll start you next week. So we ended up letting him go back to his newborn baby and his wife. But I thought that was something, because through life, as we anticipate different things we plan for, different experiences, we sometimes miss those big moments for us. We're not able to live in them as much as we would like to. And when you look back on those moments, for me today, hearing that story and being part of it, looking back on it after a few years passed, looking back on it, you would have given up that week with, instead of being with your newborn baby son in this case, you would have given up that week to start a new job. And 2 or 3 years from now, when you are going to be looking back on those moments, like what's 1 week? What's 1 week to share that newborn baby smell, that newborn baby experiences, and it's his first one too, and that newborn with your wife, or if it's just you, like that first week there is, to me, it's just great. Like you're able to have that experience, and when you look forward and plan for something else, you kind of miss that. And that's where people get regrets on. They come back and they're looking at it and like, man, I could have spent a week at home, and I think, my job would have let me had I reached out to him. And even Jose, he was like, I thought about texting you, man. I thought about texting you last night. Like at 11, I wanted to text you. I was like, man, you should have totally texted me Like, I would have gotten back to you. We would have had this talk with leadership earlier. And like, maybe, yeah, we could have told you, like, hey, don't even worry about coming in. But it's these moments that we really take for granted, because years from now, months, days, moments after you submit to something, after you agree, like, no, I'm going to do this because it's more important than this. So B is more important than A. C is more important than B. When we do that, we kind of lose track of what's really important, and our time is really important. So one thing that I do like to do is prioritize your time, not prioritize tasks or activities. But if your time is so valuable to you, because we only have one life, but your time is so valuable to you, what should take part during that time? So prioritize your time. So Saturdays, for instance, Saturdays or Sundays for me, it's one of the days that I'm off and my wife is off. So Sundays, I like to prioritize my time for my wife and family. So whatever happens on Sundays is going to be involving my wife and kids. And that's what I do with my time. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, hey, Sundays, we're going to build a project. And I usually say Sundays are project days. But it doesn't necessarily mean that Sundays are set aside for projects. Because let's say if I say Sunday's project day, every Sunday. The Sunday that comes up, when I have a project to do, and all of a sudden my daughter's in a play, my son's got a soccer match, my wife wants to go see a new movie that's out. If I prioritize my time to be only for projects, I'm saying that projects are more important than my family. So what I'm saying is try to give it a try. Try to prioritize what your time really is valued at. So your time is valuable. So put what is most important to you in that time block. But that's kind of all the story I have for today. I just thought it was really cool and interesting. I wanted to share that with the OK Dads out there. But thanks for listening, guys.